do this later. Okay, so we are going to start off on the floor. You're going to want your ball, your Pilates ball, and your mini band or your whatever band you're going to use around your legs. Okay, all right. So we'll go ahead and lay you down, and first we will place the ball between your thighs. So it's not your knees, but it's your thighs. So closer to your body, it's your torso. Squeeze that ball, and then you're going to come up into your bridge. Keep squeezing that ball, and then you're just going to lift your hips up and down while you are squeezing the ball. So you don't have to lift like as high as possible when you're doing your bridging. In fact, if you go too high, it comes a lot into the back, and we want to keep it in the butt and the hamstrings mostly. So you'll feel some core working, of course, and inner thighs. But if you really hyperextend, it's going to really overdo it on the back.
Oh, so you're saying don't come up so high?
So only go to the point where you're feeling hamstrings, glutes, and core, not like a pinch in the lower back. So a really big arch in the lower back.
Okay.
So it's like really pay attention to how high you're going. So it's working the correct muscles.
Okay.
A couple more times. Up and down, up and down. Okay, so go ahead and rest and set the ball off to the side, and you're going to place your hands on your thighs. If you end up needing some support for your neck, you can place one hand behind your head. Otherwise, just tuck your chin a little bit. You're going to slide up the legs. Maybe you actually touch the tops of the knees, maybe not. I usually end up supporting my head with one hand, and then halfway through, you can switch hands. But that's just for me. I tend to have tension in my neck, so I like a little support. So that's halfway. So you can switch your hands if you've got one behind the head. Keep going. And rest. Okay, so let's place that ball between your thighs again. Now this time you're just going to stay up in that position again where you're not overdoing it on the back, and then squeeze that ball in, out, in, out, in, out. And go ahead and rest. Okay, and we'll set that ball off to the side again. So go ahead and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Both hands behind your head. You're going to crunch towards your right knee. So up and across, up and across. So what you want to do is avoid just bringing the elbow across the body. It's really the left shoulder aiming towards the right knee. Try not to pull on your head too much. So working the obliques here. Now, if you feel like you wanted more, you'd lift your left foot off the floor. And as you crunch up, you're bringing the thighs towards you. So you're kind of working from both ends of the body, both ends of the core. So it's a choice. If it's too much to do that, you just leave the foot on the floor. Let's go 5 more seconds on this side, and then we'll switch. Actually, we'll do one thing before we switch. So go ahead and rest. Lay your arms down to your sides. Let's rock the knees side to side, just getting a little movement into the back. so let's switch sides, left ankle over right thigh, and we'll crunch up and across towards that knee. And again, you know you can come up and across and bring the thighs towards you if you need more.
Yeah, that leg is not gonna go into the foursquare.
Okay, so just leave it on the floor and just come across the body.
Okay.
Still need to work on that mobility on that side, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would just come up and across the body with the foot on the floor. Okay, so we'll go ahead and rock side to side. Amy, with you, you'll just leave both feet on the floor. Take your feet kind of wide though, and rock the knees side to side, okay? And Ann, you'll go ahead and keep that ankle crossed. Okay, so one more bridge exercise with the ball. You'll place it between your thighs. We're gonna lift you up into your bridge. And again, don't hyperextend in the back, just high enough hamstrings, glutes working. Really draw the core in here because now we're gonna go ahead and try to keep the hips as still as possible as we alternate the feet while you're squeezing the ball. So lots happening here. Glutes, hamstrings, inner thigh, core. Keep squeezing the ball. And then really try to keep your hips as still as possible. I sometimes put my fingertips on my hip bones to see what's happening, if I'm doing a hula dance or if I'm keeping still here. 10 more seconds. And rest, and we'll bring it down. All right, go ahead and set that ball off to the side. We are going to get up off the floor. We're going to be putting our band around our thighs. So let's go ahead and come up, or you can put it on when you're down, your choice. The band's going to go around your thighs. So above the knees is your basic version. Right below the knees is actually a little harder. So we'll start with it right above the knees, see how that goes. If you need more, you can always slide the band just right below the knees. So the reason we have this here is so that we can really focus on pressing the knees out against that band as we do a squat and then we row. So as you come down, press the knees out against the band, you'll come up and then do a row. Press the knees out against the band and then do your row. So you're using your outer glute muscles to press the knees out. Don't just roll your feet out over onto their sides, okay? And at no point do the knees come back together. So even when you come up, don't get sloppy and let your knees cave in. Keep pressing the knees out through the whole exercise.
I'm having a hard time getting into the squat.
Yeah, it's different with the band on. And we rest. Okay, good. So we're gonna go ahead and do an exercise with this band now in a squatted down position again. So whatever depth your squat is fine. Now here's the thing that's gonna happen. We're gonna keep this left knee pointed straight ahead as you step kind of back. I call it a surfer squat. I don't know if it looks anything like surfing, but it reminds me of a surfer. And then I step back to this position. My feet never came closer together. They stay wide. And you'll notice I'm not going up and down and up and down. I'm here. I'm here. Press the knees out as you keep going to the same side. Butt happening, quads happening. So step and step, step and step. and rest. Kind of shake that out a little bit. All right, so let's do the other side. So we come back down, keep that knee pointed forward. It's gonna wanna cave in because the band is pulling on it. Keep the knees pressing out. Good. Couple more. Good. Okay, relax. All right, so you can just leave the band on because it's kind of a hassle to take it on and off. We're gonna do some tricep kickbacks now with probably your lighter band. So elbows are tight into your sides, hinge your body forward, press back and bend. Press back and bend those arms. Pause, bend. Hold it, bend. And 5 more seconds. Rest. Okay. So we're gonna go back to the first one we did, which was our squat and row. So we're pressing those knees out against the band. Now, if you needed more, you could double pulse the squat or the row or both. Just make sure those knees keep pressing out. Five more seconds. And rest. Okay. So a little something different. So you can do this freestanding, or you can give yourself some support by a wall or something. What we're going to be doing is squatting down. One leg just stays isometric squat. The other one you tap out, tap in, tap back, tap in. Notice this knee wants to cave in. I'm not going to let it. So tap out, tap in, tap back, tap in, out, in, back, in, out, in. So there's work happening on both legs, just different kinds of work. Okay, come up, rest, shake it out. And then we'll do the other side. So down low, out, in, back, in, out, in, back, in, out, back, out. Good. The weight in the heel of the standing foot. Stick your booty out, chest stays lifted. There we go. One more out, one more back. Okay, good. We're back to our triceps, but this time we're gonna go palms up. So you'll start with your palms up, press back, bend, just like that. Elbows in, hinge forward, lift your chest, core tight, press, rebend, press, rebend. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Don't let the shoulders roll forward. If you needed more, you could double pulse. If you needed less, you would alternate. 5 more seconds. and rest. Okay. If you need water, grab a little sip of water, and then we'll go back through those one more time. So we have our squat and row. One more time. So press those knees out. Maybe it's a double pulse. Weight back in those heels. Rest. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do just a lateral leg lift. And again, if you needed some support, you could use support. Standing leg is just soft, straight out to the side. So if I was just standing freestanding, I'm here. Toes forward. Don't let this toe turn out. All toes forward, which might mean it doesn't get to lift very high. Okay. Switch sides. Up, up, up. Rest. Okay, so we're going to do half and half with these tricep kickbacks. So we'll start with the palms up, which is the harder version. And then halfway through, we'll flip the palms down. If when you get to the palms down one, it's usually easier. If you need more, you know, you can double pulse on those. So palms up first, hinge forward, core tight, press, squeeze back, squeeze back. Make sure you're not letting those arms slingshot back. You want to resist it back. Okay, so you'll flip your palms over now, palms down. And again, if that's too easy, maybe you double pulse. And rest. Okay. So Amy, how is your hip doing?
It's good. It's good. It's just when I try to cross it that it's not.
Yeah. Okay. But these things this is not bothering your hip at all?
No.
Okay. And Anne, how's your knee doing?
I'm good.
Knees. Okay, good. So we're going to go through all the leg ones that we did, but just one after the other with a little break in between. So we start with this one. We're low, and then we go just to one side. So we step, step, keep pressing the knees out. We stay low. Make sure that front knee keeps pointing forward, even though that band is going to try to pull it in the direction you're stepping. Okay, rest for a moment. Shake it out. But if it does feel too easy, you can bring the band lower. If it doesn't, just leave it where it is. So right below the knees is going to be harder. Okay, so we come back down to our squat. And again, watch that front knee. Make sure it continues to point forward as you step to the side. Good. And rest. Okay, we'll take a moment, Let that relax a little bit. So the next one is that one more low, tap side, in, back, in. Okay, so we tap and tap, okay? So we're back down, tap, bring it in, reach, bring it in, tap, same leg. Barely any weight on the foot that's tapping, all the weight's on that standing leg. Good, one more. Okay, and we'll rest. Go a little side to side. All right, let's do side number 2. Tap and tap and tap. Oh, we lost Anne. I think she'll be doing the recording later. Oh, and she's back. Good. And rest. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and if you need support, you can hold on. This is the one where the leg just goes straight out. Make sure the toes are pointed forward as we lift out to the side. Standing leg is soft. Let's do the other side. Okay, good. So we're gonna go back to the floor and you leave the band on unless you need a break, take it off and put it back on, but we are gonna use it again. I think the band that you have, Anne, is the rubber one, can be a little annoying after a while. I think, Amy, you have the fabric kind like I have. It's a little nicer on the skin. All right, so go ahead and lay yourself down. Oop, I need to adjust this guy. Okay, so you're gonna lay on down on your back. You can start with it above the knees probably, and then if it's too easy, you can move it down again. All right, so feet are as wide as your hips. There should be some tension on that band already. Keep the knees pressing out as you go up and down, up and down. So it's the opposite of what we did with the small ball in between the thighs. Now we're using the outer thighs. Up, down, up, down. Should not be coming into the lower back. If it is, maybe you need to have less resistance, which would be to move the band up or just take it off. Or maybe you just need a little break and then you'll start again once you've recovered. Or as I mentioned earlier, you're lifting too high. If you really extend up like this, it's going to come into the lower back. Okay, so just the point where you feel hamstrings, glutes, and relax and just let your knees rock side to side. So bridges really should be mostly glutes. Your hamstrings likely are going to be involved a bit, core involved, but it really shouldn't be a lot of back. Maybe some support from the back, but not pushing with the back muscles. Okay, so we're going to walk those feet back out to hip width distance, back into your bridge, and then we press out, out, out. So you always have some tension. Hips stay one position and the knees press out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. There you go. And we rest. And again, you can just rock those knees side to side. Okay, so this last one is going to be like we did the last one with the ball between the thighs. You're going to lift up, hold, core tight, try to hold your hips as still as you can as you alternate lifting the feet. So there's some pressure out on the band. Don't let your knees cave in. Not a big range of motion. And relax. Good. All right, so we're going to take the band off. So the last exercise we're going to do now, we're working the lower back intentionally, the whole back actually, but the bridging work should mainly be glutes and hamstrings and core with maybe some support from your lower back. Since you probably were using your lower back a little bit of support, you might be feeling a little bit of fatigue in your lower back already. If it's really fatigue, I recommend doing the easiest version, which is arms down by your sides. Next level up, like a cactus with the arms, hardest version is going to be here. So the upper body is lifting up and down, whatever amount it lifts. If you need some assistance, you can put your hands on the floor like this to assist. Okay, so try not to stick your stomach out to lift up and down. So it doesn't matter if you're moving 1 centimeter or not even lifting at all. As long as you're working the muscles, eventually you'll come up and down.
Wow.
Okay, go ahead and rest. Put your forehead down on the backs of your hands. Bend your knees and windshield wiper those legs side to side. All right. Good job, you guys. Please take a little bit of time to stretch, okay? So at least 5 or 10 minutes, do some stretching before you get on with the rest of your day, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry
Bye,
about my
guys.
internet again.
That's okay. I'll send you the recording because I think you missed
Okay.
quite a bit.
I did. I was just doing stuff.
Yeah, that's all right. You'll get to, you can use it later. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye. Uh-huh.